All right, so we are going to talk about triangles. So I know everyone knows what a triangle is, but can anyone tell me how exactly we define a triangle? Mary, go ahead.
It's a shape with three sides.
Exactly. All right. So if you have three sides, there are three possible cases here, right? The first is that we have three sides that are all exactly, okay, that's not my best triangle drawing, but we're going to go with it. And we use these little hash marks like this to denote that all three sides are identical. So this triangle where all three sides are the same, we call equilateral. And that makes sense because equi means equal in Latin and lateral means sides. So the second case is that we have two sides that are the same and one side that's different. So like so. And we're going to call that isosceles. And then lastly, what's the only possible scenario remaining?
All three sides were different.
Right, good, Phoebe. All three sides are different. And usually those are kind of funny looking, so I'll do that some justice. And that we call scalene. So what else do we know about triangles? There's another super important property of triangles, which is that the sum of the measure of their angles is 180 degrees. So let's go back to our three types of triangles. If all three sides are the same, all three angles have to be the same, right? So we can go back to using our little hash marks to show that. So equilateral triangle, three identical sides, three identical angles. And we can actually determine exactly what the measure of the angles are of an equilateral triangle, right? Because we have three equal angles whose sum is 180. So let's math that out real quick. 180 divided by 3. 3 times 6 is 18. And then bring down the 0. We get 60. So in an equilateral triangle, we always have 3 60-degree angles. All right. For isosceles triangle, similarly, we have two identical angles corresponding to the identical sides that we have. And then this angle, we don't know what it is, right? I'll like shade it to show that it's different. And in scalene, we have three different angles, just like we have three different sides. So now this might sound a little bit silly to you guys, but I made up a short rhyme and I'm going to write it down so we don't forget it to help you remember the types of triangles. So equilateral is triplets, which makes sense because there's three sides that are all the same. And isosceles is twins. But if all three sides are different, then scalene is what it is. So I know it's kind of silly, but we're going to say it together so that we remember it. Okay, ready, go. Equilateral is triplets, and isosceles is twins.
If all three sides are different, then scalene is what it is.
So you will need to memorize this information. So I highly recommend you memorize the rhyme to help you remember it. I really hope that it helps. I think that it will. It helps me remember. And yeah. Okay. That was